everybody, it's Tyler here at the launch signature event checking in 2011B. This is BlastOff. This team has been absolutely insane so far. 150 plus scores going in through their matches, and a lot of this attributed to a solo AWP, which has been phenomenal to see so far. Have a great color sort as well too as we dive into this robot. We'll be going all the way through it. Just other great things you'll see in regards to their intake. I mentioned the color sort, their drivetrain coming together, and their hood, and everything else that's gone into this robot. So let's learn more about them coming up here on Pits and Parts.
This video on fun is brought to you by viewers like you and also in partnership with the following.
The Robotics Education and Competition Foundation provides fantastic programs for students from elementary school all the way through college. These include VEX, aerial drone competition, online challenges, JROTC, girl-powered, scholarships, certifications, and so much more. To discover these exciting opportunities, visit recf.org and get connected. Nathan, let's start off with your drivetrain here. Talk to me about what it's comprised of. I noticed this big gap right here, so I'd love to learn more about that and anything else you want to dive into on this.
So yeah, going to our drivetrain, we have a 450 RPM drivetrain. We power with this 6 motors. We have a 36 to 48 tooth gear ratio. We notice we have like half cut gears. We also have a 3-hole gap on our drivetrain. Basically, the benefit to this is it's less weight because it's less metal. We're more maneuverable around the field, as we have all Omni wheels and they're on the inside. Also, like to go into how we have these wall riders. These basically allow us to, like when we're going into like the alleyway in between the long goal and the wall, this allows us to just ride against it versus, so it makes it easier for our driver Lucas just to drive and pick up blocks in the alley.
Looking overall for your team, this is essentially your first iteration of Robot, right? So you have 2 tournament champions already and a couple other awards to go with this. When you're looking overall at your Robot, you guys haven't changed too much. Why is that?
So yeah, going back to the Mall America signature event, we noticed Team 9123X had a really good design with just a front to back intake. This is a robot. We noticed this is gonna be super consistent for scoring, it's on long goals. It helps a lot with our strategy, as it's super quick just to go from match loader to long goal, just most effective amount of scoring points in this game.
Let's pass over to Gabby, talk more about that match load mech and how this all comes together for it. So you have that plastic slope on the front here. What else do you want to cover on this?
Yeah, so when our match load mechanism comes down, it uses these 2 36 tooth gears here to get to the most optimal height to get through the lip of the loader. We actually have 2 slopes on our piece of plastic here. So this little tiny first slope allows us to get to the back of the match load mechanism. So then this larger slope will allow gravity to let the blocks flow down into our intake.
As we continue on this robot here, let's pass over to Derek, talk more about that intake on the robot here. And one thing I'd love to hear, you made a couple changes, I think, to your intake, so let's dive more into that.
Yeah, so first stage, we have this rubber band roller. We originally started off with 4 flex wheels, but the problem with flex wheels was that it was just inconsistent and it would jam a lot. It would also make us hard to score in the bottom center goal. On the next stage, we have these flaps right here, and the flaps just bring the ball up. And the flaps also do a good job at allowing the flaps to slip by the block as we're just intaking, going around the field and taking balls, and we don't need to score. And we have a rubber band roller here just to move the block up. And for the top of our hood, it's just a rubber band roller and this cut flex wheel right here, which runs at 800 RPM. We originally had a normal 1.625 inch flexor right here, but the problem with that is it was just inconsistent, and sometimes it wouldn't push the block in far enough into the goal.
So as we see these coming in on here, with these flaps, did you guys consider anything else potentially with the instead of utilizing these flaps, or are there any other options that your team considered?
Yeah, we considered just having rubber band rollers, just like this one along here. We just decided to go with flaps just because it just brought the block up better and allowing the flaps to slip past the block. In the future, we're actually considering just changing to rubber band rollers. It will require more tuning and just more time spent on it to make it consistent, but we think it will be better in the future.
Well, your team's been very consistent so far, so I can't wait to see even more improvements past that. It's really cool. Eddie, let's pass it over to you on here. When we were talking earlier, your team was really proud about your color sort and the trap door that went with this, so break this down for me.
So for our trap door, we use a 75mm piston, and it actively retracts, and then it passively extends back up using the rubber bands here and here. So the original purpose of the trap door was to allow us to score in the middle goal. So for the middle goal, as we saw that we had this first intake, then we had this trap door to allow us to score in the middle goal. And the secondary function is it allows us to also color sort. So in tandem with the optical sensor, right up in here. what it allows to do, it allows it to detect the hue of the block, and if it detects like the undesired block, what it allows to do, it allows the trapdoor to come down using the piston, and the block would flow out, and then it would go back up, and then it would keep detecting. So it allows us to have this top hood part only have the blocks we want to score and not have any undesired blocks go into a goal.
We were talking earlier, you said from a color sort perspective, you might make some different changes for your driver.
Yeah, so right now it's only on autonomous just to keep the autonomous consistent. But in the future, we would like to also implement it into the driver control period to allow our driver to have an easier time and make it even more consistent and better overall in driver.
As we continue on this robot, a couple more things to cover. One is the Descoring mech that you have on here. So I'd love to hear more about, first off, obviously we had a bunch of rule changes happen recently with that. Did that change your strategy in terms of how you descore it all, Lucas? And can you describe a bit more about it?
No, that didn't really change our strategy much. So we used the descore to just drop it into the long goal and then push the blocks. We don't get into the center goal and break that rule. But we have this polycarbonate piece that we bent here, so it can just go up and above the middle of the goal.
And as we wrap on this robot, I think one of the big stars is your solo auto win point. I mean, that is absolutely insane to watch. Senior team score multiple goals in autonomous. It's just been awesome. So, Chris, I'd love to hear just more about what's gone into that. If we can break down more of some of the testing, the iterations you've gone through on the code side, I'd love to hear more about that. Anything else you want to highlight from that end too?
Yeah, for sure. I can totally tell you about that. So basically, when we started our coding, we only really incorporated PIDs, but we saw after analyzing this game's field elements and with adding omnios to make Lucas more efficient, we knew we needed odometry. So yeah, if you can turn the bot, you can see that we have 2 tracking wheels over here with the rotation sensors, and these basically always detect where we are on the field. So it basically puts us on a coordinate plane. So even if we hit a field element or we get a little drifted because of the omni wheels, we're always on point with our odometry. And additionally, we added, as Eddie has told you before, the color sort. The color sort really helps us because, especially in skills, we want our control zones to be filled with the same color. So with that, we can always ensure that it will stay the same. A couple iterations we did for our programming is we made sure to tune it over and over again. Especially in the beginning of the season, we would tune our PIDs, just make it drive forward until we get it perfectly at that target, then turn, and we just do this over and over again so we can make sure it's always on point. Additionally, before every single match or every time we run programs, we like to recalibrate the IMU. As last year we've seen that sometimes if we don't calibrate it properly, it can sometimes get us off point or off track. So we like to ensure that so we can stay as consistent as possible.
What platforms have you done some of your code in?
So we like to use pros with Visual Studio Code, and then our template is Easy Template.
Very cool. Last thing, we can pass it back to Gabby. I want to ask you a quick question, Gabby, before we wrap up here. Your team, the 2011 family of teams, has gone to so many signature events that we've seen. Why has signature events been critical and crucial to the experience that your team or set of teams have gone through?
Yeah, so signature events are really important to us because not only do we get to experience the event and the higher level of competition from teams all over the country and the world, but we're also able to collaborate with a lot of other teams and look at different ideas and different things that we might not have thought of before. And actually seeing the teams in person is a huge difference compared to just seeing them on a YouTube video, because you can't really see them that well and see everything that really goes on. So being able to see the different teams from all over the world competing at signature events really allows us to collaborate a lot better and come up with really good ideas for our robot.
Well, BlastOff, you have a phenomenal idea so far for this robot. Congratulations on your success so far in the season. We can't wait to see how you do here. I think coming in, your team's got to be one of the favorites as you compete here. So good luck as you get ready, hopefully, to go to Vex Worlds with a big win here this weekend. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell to stay up to date on future fun videos. The Robotics Education and Competition Foundation provides fantastic programs for students from elementary school all the way through college. These include VEX, aerial drone competition, online challenges, JROTC, girl-powered, scholarships, certifications, and so much more. To discover these exciting opportunities, visit recf.org and get connected.